Today we're going on a hike at Allapocus Run State Park in Wilmington, Delaware. The land that became Allapocus Run State Park was donated by the city of Wilmington in the early 1900s by local industrialist William Bancroft. It eventually came to include the Blue Ball Barn, built in 1914 by Bancroft's neighbor Alfred DuPont, who named the barn after an inn and meeting house that was once located near the property. Allapocus Run became a state park in 2002. Oftentimes during the winter, we get the urge to go on little hikes, just to get out in nature and get some fresh air, since we tend to stay inside more hours of the day than during the warmer seasons. We stopped at Cabela's on the way home too.
Buddy.
We tried scaring Theo with the goose dummy, but he didn't even notice it.
What, for real? Really?
He doesn't care.
Next trip was to Northeast Maryland. My sister Lucia came with us too. We hiked along the Northeast Creek for almost 2 centuries, from 1735 until 1926. This site was used for water-powered industries. Gilpin's Falls Covered Bridge in Cecil County was built in 1860 by Joseph Johnson at the cost of $2,000. Foxcatcher Farms Covered Bridge and Gilpin's Falls are the only 2 remaining covered bridges in Cecil County. Gilpin's Falls is a single-span, 119-foot long bridge, which makes it the longest covered bridge still standing in the state of Maryland. Several mills, including Samuel Gilpin's flour mill, were once located near the bridge. Our next walk is at one of our favorite dog beaches, Higbee's Beach, with our dog Theo and a dog I pet sit named Joey. Now for some boat work. Rob epoxied a new piece of wood for the base of the helm, since the old one was rotting and cracking the fiberglass. We also decided to move the gauges to a place on the boat where you could see them better, so Rob will epoxy up those old holes. Another quick walk, this time at Piney Hollow Preservation. He is always very happy to be outside. Atlas loves getting outside too, and napping in his wrap. We went to watch our friend Johnny host one of his enduro races. Atlas has been such a fun and easy to go with our Flow baby. We're so thankful to have him along with us. It was a fun and beautiful day. Even though it was still cool outside, the sun was strong and warm. Rob helped again this year as a gas stop. He trailered all the racers' fuel tanks that they brought and sat halfway along the trail, and in case any racers needed to fill up, they could stop there. Rob made a housing for the gauge pod that he'll soon epoxy into the boat, in replace of the old gauges on the helm.
Sorry, buddy.
We went for a walk on Brigantine Beach. Next trip, we walked Cape Henlopen State Park Beach. Then we explored around the town of Lewis, Delaware. We had a great meal at Wheelhouse Bar and Grill, then walked around Anglers Marina. Of course, before our ride home, we checked out Lewis Main Street for ice cream and found King's Homemade Ice Cream. Finally, some sailing. Our friend Chris's boat was at David Beaton & Sons Marina in Brick Township, New Jersey. and Rob is helping sail it down to Bayway Marina and Cape May Courthouse, where we once were before too. I drove Rob, Chris, and Chris's friend up to the marina on Friday, and they slept overnight on the boat. That way they could leave early on Saturday morning. They're about to pass under Thomas A. Mathis Bridge in Toms River. The first bridge into Seaside Park from Toms River opened on October 23, 1914. This wooden bridge cost $130,000. Then a new concrete bridge was opened in 1950. This is the present-day Thomas A. Mathis Bridge and was built at a cost of $6 million. They're traveling south through Barnegat Bay to Barnegat Inlet to pass through the Atlantic Ocean, then traveling south to the Cape May Inlet, through the Cape May Harbor and Cape May Canal, out to the Delaware Bay, and up to Bidwell Creek to get to Bayway Marina. Chris's boat is a Catalina 30. They did try to motor sail while in the bay, but there wasn't much wind. They're now passing Barnegat Lighthouse. There were many large breakers as they were coming out of Barnegat Inlet. The Barnegat Inlet has a long reputation as being a dangerous waterway for boating. In 1609, the area surrounding Barnegat Inlet was described by Henry Hudson as a great lake of water, as we could judge it to be. The mouth of the lake hath many shoals, and the sea breaketh on them, as it is cast out of the mouth of it. These couple breakers were unfortunately too big and causes Chris's French press to fall and break on the floor. Over the past several decades, the inlet has been somewhat tamed with dredging and jetties, and is in constant use by one of the largest commercial fishing fleets on the East Coast, centered in Viking Village. But the inlet can still be treacherous today. Extensive shoals on either side of the inlet can cause some boats every year to get damaged on the jetty or sink from hitting a sandbar. They finally made it out of the inlet, past all the breakers, into the ocean. Again, they really wanted to sail in the ocean, but the wind wasn't lining up with the direction they wanted to go, so they continued to motor. At least it was a nice warm and sunny trip when the sun was out. They had a fun trip, just the three boys. There was another sailboat with no sails up, wishing there was more wind too. They were going north. They decided to motor sail for a little while. They didn't get any footage that night, but now the sun is rising on Sunday morning. They motored through the night. They were originally going to stop in Cape May for the night, but they wanted to get back home. They did start to feel a little seasick at this point. It was a beautiful sunrise, beginning a beautiful day. It took them a total of 31 hours. They motored a little more than 100 nautical miles.
What up, dudes?
Taking a video?
Yes.
Good morning.
Hi. Moon's still up. We're still floating.
Barely. We keep trying to sink ourselves. Dump all our water inside the boat.
They made it to Bayway Marina.
We're all free. Sorry I didn't get video of me dropping it, but Coley's taking care of the baby. That comes first. Get it out, fill the hole back in. Well, it's down. Gravity took it pretty good. Slight miscalculation. I gotta get it back up and dig a little bit more out. Here's your reminder to check everything on the water line every once in a while. Lower bearings. What's left of them? These bolts. Where the focus? Well, they're all eaten up. This one at the end. All of them are pretty bad.
Rob took the rudder and the propeller home for some repairs. He cut out a new bulkhead and epoxied it to replace the old one that was old and rotting out.
Use this penetrating epoxy, seal up all these parts before fiberglass them in. This helps a little bit more seal the water out a little bit longer. Doesn't rot out. Any holes that I cut in it, I'll do the same thing. Seal up the holes. Anywhere where bare wood will show.
As you can see, the rudder is in some need of repairing after this past season. Rob grinded away the rust. There's a lot of rust on the rudder, and we weren't so happy with the way the bottom coat held up. There was a lot of noticeable heavy chipping, in some areas more than others. There's still some more work to be done on the rudder, but more of that will be coming up.
Dry fit on the new bulkhead. Old? Yeah. Get all the fiberglass cleaned up. And then I'll put it in with thickened epoxy. And next time, fiberglass it in. I'm happy with that. First fit, we'll cut this corner out. Those pieces. The water gets trapped in there. That's where the rot started. So, fun.
They'll tie back the note. Still be there.
That whole piece of fiberglass. Not even stuck with it. Pretty much useless. Just keeping it from moving side to side, I guess. So what I'm going to try to do is use the penetrating epoxy and clean this up. Use that. See if it brings it back to life. I really don't want to replace this whole thing. I might be able to. Got that stuff on here. Hopefully it'll help. Probably not. Get it all over in the corner. Got everything ground down. Still got a lot of cleanup, but I gotta grind all this next time. So, engine bed, pull these through holes out. Oh yeah, and that.
Coming up, some more boat work.
Found more rot, more work, taking some measurements. Been covered for months now. Still soaking wet.
And a little fun.
Atlas! Woo!
Anyway, so we